Welcome back to Houston Newsmakers. I'm joined by HISD trustee Jolanda Jones and former state representative Scott Hochberg. We've been talking about the recapture issue. It's on the ballot between now and Tuesday when early voting ends. And then on Election Day, Saturday, May 6th, Trustee Jones is urging a no vote, Scott Hochberg a yes vote. What do you hear about the early voting numbers, or do you hear anything about them, and what does it mean?
Tiny.
They're deplorably low. No one even knows there's an election going on, and it's arguably one of the most important elections in recent times, and which again is one reason why I didn't want this put back on the ballot, because this has the potential to replace a very high turnout election that was during a presidential year, and it was a normal election. Yeah,
obviously when you have a small turnout, and there's no analysis of what this means at this point. Nobody's spending any money on trying to do any surveys on who's voting, have they?
Actually, I heard the people that are running the campaign for four have polled.
And what did they?
Ryan, they said that they're not doing too hot. Ryan Leach said that there was a recapture town hall at TSU this past weekend.
Now, you voted yes the first time.
And just to make it clear, I'm not involved in any campaign. I'm not involved with the people who are running this. No, but there are some people, just to make that clear.
You voted yes in November.
I did. I was the lone wolf. I was the Jolanda Jones of the November election. I said yes when everybody else was saying no.
And one of the things that we talked about is that detach certain commercial values is what goes along with a no vote, and that means I've been hearing $8 billion worth of property, and the question about that is what happens after that happens. I mean, one of the reasons you voted yes was what?
Well, I voted yes for a very simple reason. It's the cheaper option. We don't get out of recapture one way or another. We either write a check, and I think Jolanda will agree with me, we either write a check or we give up property to another school district.
And although there were three other options, but we just chose not to use those.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. But what's on the ballot is we either write a check or we give up that property. If we give up that property, A, there's no provision in law to ever get it back.
Well,
there's no provision in law to ever get it back currently. You'd have to change the law if you wanted to change that, and that wouldn't be that easy because the district that gets the property isn't going to be too excited about giving it back up. But why that's important is we lose their revenue for bond issues as well. And so not only do we give up the money we're giving up for operations, we give up the money that those properties are currently paying in to help pay for bond issues now and in the future.
Does that make sense? I mean, because if you give it up forever,
right?
Okay, it's not being given up forever. We can't say that. We can say under the current law, it's given up.
Okay. That's right.
And so what I find incredibly oxymoronic and actually hypocritical is there's this whole thing, and it's going to take 2 or 3 legislative sessions to change it. So if the legislature can change the law, they can actually vote to they can actually change the law to reattach it. But no one's talking about that because the legislature can do things. But at the end of the day, you know, my biggest chagrin is the Supreme Court a case has gone up to the Supreme Court. We're paying the money, right?
That's right.
They've basically said it's barely constitutional, it's not equitable. Right. Legislature, you need to change it, right? People are saying that detachment, hold on. Right. People are saying that detachment is decided by the Supreme Court. Absolutely not true. Every lawyer knows that you have to have an actual controversy. So the issue of detachment has not been heard. There's a large number of people who believe it to be an unconstitutional taxation without representation.
Okay, I know
excuse me.
Okay.
That's incorrect.
No,
the issue of whether detachment is legal was in fact taken up by the Supreme Court. It was taken up when the bill was first passed in 1995, and they very specifically said it was legal. Now, if you've got another argument for why it's not that they didn't hear, you can bring that argument, but you can bring that argument, but if we want to bring that argument, and you have lawyers who want to bring that argument, we should still vote for the cheaper option in the meantime because we don't know what that court is going to say.
Actually, I absolutely disagree.
Okay.
I'm a lawyer. The issue of detachment has not been heard by the Supreme Court, and that's the only leverage we have. And let me be clear, we had more discussion about reforming public education, because let me be clear, both options suck, okay? I mean,
is that a unanimous decision here? I don't know.
Neither option is good.
I agree with that.
Neither option is good.
And that's correct.
And so this is more than about what's a cheaper option. I think there are arguments about it. Again, I'm deferring to districts that are already paying. They wish they would have chosen detachment, and we need to fight this, because if we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't, we might as well fight against it.
One of the things that you say, one of the things that you say indicates that these can be changed for the detachment or whatever, that things can be changed. Well, the way the legislature has been moving about changing anything regarding education has really been kind of slow. I wouldn't want to put my eggs in a basket of saying, well, they're going to change positively in my direction one way or the other. So the argument of, well, right now, as the way the law stands right now, once you give that property up, it's up. So you have to depend upon a law changing in order for it to come back.
Except for what people are missing is the people that'll be fighting the legislature, if detachment goes through, are rich people who can contribute to them or contribute against their campaigns. For example, the Texaco building, which Glenn Reed, who's a finance guy for HISD, has used this example. The Aldine tax rate is approximately 12 cents higher. So on a $250 million Texaco building, for every $1 million of taxable property, they have to pay an additional $1,167. And what that means in real terms is, for just that one building for this tax year, they will pay over $291,000, period, point blank. And so if you think that businesses are going to allow them, they're going to be paying millions and millions of dollars in extra taxes, they're going to sit there and take that, they're not.
And I would respond to that unfortunately, there are ways that the legislature could fix that problem for those businesses and not put a penny more in the HISD budget and not reduce recapture by a penny.
But you're saying now we have just we're having so much fun. Time flies. We're having a lot of fun.
I'm enjoying this.
I thought you would.
I don't get asked very often anymore. I'm not a public official anymore.
Vote yes. Why? 30 seconds.
It's the cheaper option. Period. It's cheaper for the taxpayers of the city of Houston, of HISD. And the only legitimate reason to vote no is that this is going to put some kind of pressure on the legislature. We tried that in November. It did not work.
No, because?
We should vote against, because we're going to have to shut down schools, lay off teachers, cut early childhood educational centers, mentoring and tutoring programs, just a bunch of programs, truancy, dropout rates. And I'm saying to you that the legislature hadn't moved in 25 years because all we've done is vote to pay the money. We have been their welfare system. We are funding public education on the backs of our poor kids. That's going to have to be
the last word here. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes? No? You're going to have to decide. Early voting ends on Tuesday. You have today, Monday and Tuesday to vote. Election day on Saturday. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So get out and vote.
Thanks.
Make sure you do so. Thank you both for coming in. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Coming up, we're going to talk about what's going on at Lone Star College. It is a gem in this area, and they have a chance to maybe start offering bachelor's degrees. We'll talk about that coming up.